Welcome back, Lake listeners. Thank you for coming back for more of Season 2 with our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast. Today, we are excited to have another Community Spotlight episode highlighting a business and publication that has been awarded both platinum and gold distinctions from the International Academy of the Visual Arts and the International Marcom Awards for Design and Writing. This publication also won Overall Consumer Magazine for the past 13 years of its existence under Studio M Publishing. This publication continues to be a coffee table feature magazine publishing heartwarming and informative pictures and stories of the Lake of the Ozarks community and its people. Here to share more about it and her business, the sole owner and my friend, Miss Missy Pinkel with Studio M and LO Profile Magazine. Missy, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to have you. I'm extremely excited to talk about you and all that Studio M and LO Profile has going on here at Lake of the Ozarks.
Hi, Kaylen. Thank you for having me. This will be fun.
Yes, it's so much fun. I'm so honored that you are here. So Missy, let's just start with you just telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and where you kind of found the passion to do what you do.
Well, growing up in South Kansas City, actually, I just had a passion for taking photographs. So it was really crazy. This is kind of a little story that I was a 4-H'er.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day. I don't even know if they still do 4-H, but one of my projects was photography. And so that I was probably 7 years old or so. But it's carried through to all my schooling, junior high. I was on the photography club, and I was, editor of the yearbook. I was the publisher editor. And so I always wanted to go to University of Missouri Journalism School. And so really at an early age, just the visual of art and photography and design just was always something that I had an interest in. And don't put an algebra book in front of me. Don't put anything that has to do with detail like that. So I just it's just been something I've carried over, and once I graduated from University of Missouri in graphic design, just putting the visuals together in a book, it was just like the yearbook. So it was all over doing a yearbook basically.
That is so cool.
And it's really funny. I'm not a manager. I'm not a stats gal, but I'm an art person, and I'm running a business as an artist. And that has its challenges sometimes, because sometimes you want to make things prettier than, the budget allows. And so Profile Magazine.
That is amazing.
There it is. So it's all in one thing. I'm just trying to combine all my talents, and then, oh my gosh, the talent that I have found here at the lake as a staff has just been amazing. So
I can imagine. And what a unique opportunity that is to kind of take all of your strengths and put them into one project that has just taken off and soared. That is amazing. You also married the head coach of Mizzou, didn't you?
I did, which is very interesting because I love sports. And everybody asks me, even to this day, do you know anything about football? I go, oh my gosh, I watched Monday Night Football with my dad. I mean, I loved, I grew up with my brother who played South Suburban football, and we were, my sister and I cheerleaders. And so we knew about football way back. And it's interesting because I followed, graduating from University of Missouri, I followed their football team forever. But it's funny because when the new coach came on, I remember them having him over at Central Bank.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doubtful, so I was invited to lunch for some reason, business lunch, and he was the speaker. And I was looking at him like, are you for real? You're going to take our team and do something with it? So I had this doubt about this new coach coming in. Of course, that was, 2001 or whatever. But, and then, I don't know, he's, later, I mean, down the road, I was like, running into him, and we did an interview with him, and running into him at community events. He would always give me, especially in that interview that Dan Field actually did the interview, business tips that applied to teamwork, that implied it applied to 127 players, but you could take that same scenario and apply it to a business. And I was really interested in how I could do that. Mm-hmm. And so honestly, I mean, he gave me more tips on running a business than I ever asked for. And now I'm still getting them as a spouse. I'm still getting them. And I'm like, okay, I've heard that one before. So, I'm being coached,
That is
through the
neat.
business. But, yeah, he's been a big benefit to the magazine and how I've run things and how you become a leader and have a staff. So
Well, and I think that's really cool because I know Jason here, one of our broker owners, he came from the NFL and he has so many stories himself of just how the NFL has helped him with business principles and scheduling and stuff. So I think that is so neat because I'm a huge football fan myself. So
yeah,
it's cool to know that football like has all that in the inner mix behind the scenes.
yeah, it's great.
So what is it about the Lake of the Ozarks that made you want to make it not only your personal home, but the home for your publishing business?
Um, I came to Lake of the Ozarks in 1987 as a graphic designer, and it at that time it was really growing. The lake was really growing. It was fun to watch new businesses open and need visuals, branding. Back then there were rack cards. There's still rack cards, I think, but you know what I mean?
Right.
There was no big web presence. There was nothing. It was all, what you could feel and touch and see. So I just started branding the new businesses down here. And as I saw magazines come into the area promoting our area, Kansas City Homes and Gardens, St. Louis Homes. They were using Studio M, my company, for leads to advertising, stories, what's coming up, what's happening, calendars of events and things like that. And so I'm like, I can do this. I can do this, and instead of the outside coming in and taking resources for their use, why not create our own publication and create resources that consumers can use? And
Oh,
so
that's
that's
awesome.
where it all started. And then I could use my photography, my writing skills, and design skills, and just put a pretty book together. And that's really what I wanted to do. Is I thought there were some misconceptions about the lake in the late 80s and early 90s. Even my friends would say, "Why are you living at the lake? I mean, it's cabins," and I'm like, "It's not cabins. It's not,
So much more. Yeah.
what you're thinking." And so by putting pictures together in a magazine, doing stories on the people, promoting what we really are here as a thriving, wonderful, not only tourist destination, but a place to raise a family, develop a business, and it's really paid off. And you can see the community since 1990. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's grown so
Yeah.
substantially.
So it was a good move back then, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't start the magazine actually till 2007, but as I was doing graphic design for that period between, it worked out well. So
Well, that's
happy.
fantastic. What ways is your business kind of thriving right now?
Just because of the community growth, we're seeing that. We're trying to keep up promoting all the activities going on, whether nonprofit or community-wise, tourist-wise. So we're thriving on being able to get into these businesses, meet these people, see who they are, see how we can help them marketing going forward, trying to find out where their niche is and what demographic they're trying to reach, and then just helping them. And that's our greatest reward, I think, is watching a business grow, and they started with an ad in Profile Magazine, and just helping them along. Once they become a part of the family, LO Profile family, there's just all kinds of things we do for them. Show up, and I mean, our goal is to be invited to their Thanksgiving dinner with their family.
Cool.
So I think if you can get that relationship, then you're set. So as a business and as a person, honestly.
Yeah, well, I know that I remember being here and seeing LO Profile kind of really take its shape and form way back when you started it. And I remember my uncle was actually in one of the very first issues, I believe, and it was like a big deal. Like I remember everybody that I was kind of professionally, having relationships with stopping and going, "Are you in LO Profile yet? Can you get into LO?" Like it was kind of a big deal. So
That's neat to hear.
it is.
Awesome.
So, speaking of LO Profile, let's dive a little bit deeper for a second. You have previously mentioned to me that LO Profile's niche is to report and introduce individuals in our community, support community growth and charitable organizations, and produce a lasting and timeless picture book that helps businesses grow. You offer services such as marketing, design, and photography. Can you tell our listeners how a business or a person might start with LO Profile and getting their advertising out there?
Yeah, just our account reps we're there to help you grow. So if you don't grow, we don't grow. Profile Magazine doesn't grow. So, and if our community's not growing, then we're on a treadmill, So whatever we can do to help you, and we want you to start with something small. Consistency is important. You can't give it a one-time try. It's like any kind of media. Radio, you have one 30-second commercial that airs one time a month. What are your chances of someone hearing that? So let's go to print. Magazine, one time in the magazine, you're hoping that one catch happened. And so we like to look at a plan, a consistency for your marketing, and that's how we can help you. And that's calling us, getting you started with just getting your feet wet. We'll come to an event, we'll take your picture, we'll put you on social media. So we're really the round robin of all your media, and how we can help you. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, just taking every little bits and pieces that you could do and just kind of formulating a plan. That's amazing. Currently, what is your reach with LO Profile, and how might someone find your publication?
It's fun to answer that question because we have subscribers in 38 different states.
Oh my gosh.
So, and especially now that we are having this influx of new homeowners here, tourists just checking out our area because we've been so well promoted nationally here lately. We're just 38 states. I mean, we're mailing these out. People are still getting subscriptions. The greatest thing is now they can buy it online on our website, and we're watching where those are coming from, and it's really bizarre. And I think if you're thinking small as a business owner down here, you're going to grow so fast. I mean, you better, recalculate because not only are we getting your advertisement and the visuals of our community out nationwide, it's happening on our websites and your website. And so, be prepared. It's we have 90 some racks between Kansas City and St. Louis. Oh, wow. So Columbia's a big one. Jeff City's a big one. So just refilling those racks and letting people know what we're about down here. And the curiosity now is greater than ever. So our rack numbers are just nuts. So
wow.
We're happy about it. We're happy.
Well,
about
congratulations
it.
on that, because that is a huge accomplishment. So you have some other amazing projects going on, such as LOP News and your radio show, People, Places, and Profiles. Can you share with us more about your LOP News and your vision there?
Yes, LOP News is fun. It was over the holidays. I was like, I got to do something fresh. Sometimes in our lives, all of us, especially maybe females, I don't know, we have to have that new something that happens, or a new goal or a new, vacation trip. I don't know. But this was over the break. I was just like, I want to do an entertainment news.
Yeah.
So LOP News is going to be entertainment news. It's going to just be like Entertainment Tonight or Access Hollywood, and it's going to be about people. You can still get your weather. You can get your calendar of events. You can get your don't miss events. You can see the VIP scene. We'll have video. We'll be at we'll videotape our cover story interviews. When we do fashion, you'll see us actually videotaping the fashion shoot and the faux pas that happen there and the fun and the conversation. So it's going to be branded LO Profile Magazine, but it's going to be more interactive and just have a little bit more fluff to it.
I love that idea.
Yeah, so we're right on April 1st. We have it out there, lopnews.com. You can look at it, but we haven't lived it yet. And we want to have the best content and a lot of content. So when it goes live, we're happy about it.
Well, what I'm most intrigued about is you had mentioned it when we began, that you had a passion for creating a resource, and that is just an additional resource that I think is really going to take off. I can't wait to see it.
Fun.
That's going to be cool.
It's fun, and we're going to be marketing on that site too. So, get involved. Digitally, you will be, the business out there on our entertainment news. I'm excited. So.
Oh, I'm pumped. So where can we listen to People, Places, and Profiles? And is there a favorite guest from that show that kind of made a lasting impression on you?
Okay, first of all, KLOZ. All of the radio stations down here are wonderful. So KRMS this morning, I was once a month, KRMS, KLOZ, and The Wave. And we basically talk about what's happening in the magazine, who we met that week. That's the people part, places where we're going, what's happening in the next issue, what launch social is happening, nonprofit events we're going to be at. So it's basically, what's happening in the community in a nutshell and what we're doing.
Oh, cool.
So, and then, so the 3 radio stations and, the content is really the magazine. So what was your other question?
If you had a guest that
guest.
really made an impact on you.
Well, Miss Missouris have always come in, and I know that, you're like, Miss Missouri, but it's really interesting. The pageant
I can
world.
Imagine, yeah.
And Miss America is the Miss Missouri that we have on the magazine, and the questions that they have to answer, and they actually read News and World Report. They're on, to know everything that's going on in the world, because their questionnaire, when they're questioned, they got to know all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, girls, this is amazing. We're a sponsor of the Miss Missouri pageant in Mexico, Missouri every year. So, and this is one of their prizes, is to be on the cover of the magazine.
Oh, nice.
But we've had calls in. Garth Brooks' interview was awesome. That wasn't on our People, Places, and Profiles, but visiting with him, and there's just
so many opportunities with so many people.
Roger Nail, Sheryl Crow we met in Columbia.
Oh, wow.
Knowing her story, and that she's only like 4 foot. She's really tiny.
Oh, I had no
she's
idea.
Tiny. Yeah. And she went to Mizzou, so we were in Mizzou talking that. But we've had the opportunity to meet a lot of really important people. All the mayors were on this last cover, and I still tease that it's never happened before, that all of our local mayors were in one room together for a photograph. And I was teasing them about the security. It's like, we got security outside, the National Guard's outside. They're flying over right now. We're all safe. We're all good, But just having that opportunity and watching people come together and have things happen, it's like a wow moment for me. And I'm like, get pictures. This doesn't happen. So I'm as starstruck as anybody,
I can imagine.
So that's a great accomplishment for the magazine and the staff. So
wow. Yeah. I'm envious of being able to meet all those amazing people.
Fun.
So out of all that you've accomplished with Studio M and LO Profile, what is something that no one knows about your business?
No one knows about the business? Well, I don't know. I started with $5,000 in a savings account.
No, you did not.
Yes.
Wow.
And, I was just like, I'm going to do this now. And it was 2007. And I went to people that I trusted, that were loyal advertisers and clients of mine as Studio M. And I said, here's my plan. And there were 5 business people in the community, and I sat in front of them. I said, do you think this would work? Would you be a part of it? And they said, yes, we will be a part of it. And we went on. And so as a female running a business by yourself, no capital, no board of directors.
And an amazing vision.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was, but I had nothing to show anybody. That's what's so funny. The first issue, they're like, okay, this is just in your head. I said, well, here's a media kit and this is what it's going to look like. And you know, the trust factor, I am so appreciative of this community because they had to trust me. My advertisers had to trust me that I was going to put it together the way I saw it, and it happened. And I mean, even today, I look at the very first one, I go, oh my God, this is so horrible. We've improved so much, and the staff was so great. But I think just knowing that it's hard in the 80s and the 90s, female starting your own business by yourself and with no capital. I just think that's the one thing I'm most proud of is staying with it and sticking to it, even when 2011 came around and, there was just,
so much.
2010, I mean, was the start of it. And you're just like, oh man, are we going to make it? And you just keep one foot in front of the other, and so I guess that's the one thing nobody really knows.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
and that's powerful too. And I can understand based off of some of your comments about how, you take a step back and you're just like, wow, this is happening, and this, this guest is here. And I'm sure it's kind of mind blowing,
Yeah. And it's fun. And it's, I don't know. I appreciate every day that I come into work today, having our staff meeting, I'm like, I'm so appreciative that I get to do this, so that's thanks to this community because they've really supported the magazine. So
that's amazing. So how do you see Studio M and LO Profile growing in like the next 3 years?
I'm scared, honestly, because the way our community is growing right now, I don't know that scared's the right name. I have anxiety. I'm like, okay, we got to make this better. We got to, you always want to make your business 1% better year to year. What's our 1% going to be next year? What's our 1% going to be the following year? So you see how our community is growing right now. I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
I don't want the magazine to miss what's going on in Lori or Sunrise Beach or, I feel like I'm trying to, make sure I keep up with everything. And we have to use our resources for that to make sure we're getting the news and what's happening and what our clients are doing and what our nonprofits are doing and how our growth is happening. And I need to relay that in the pages of the magazine. So I guess, we're going to grow with the community. It's bound to happen. We're growing. This issue right now, May, June, is crazy off the charts. I mean, we're over 200 pages. We're making sure we get to everybody. Wow. And I don't want to fail not getting to every customer that we can to help them promote their business and make their business better. So, I've got that anxiety going.
Well, I think that the fact that you have that anxiety is really powerful. It shows that, you are invested, that you care about the growth of not only our communities, but our small businesses and things like that. So, I mean, as much as I relate, it's a good thing to have that feeling.
Well, thank you. But there's little sleep at night though.
Oh, I can imagine.
So, no, it's all good though. But yeah, we're anxious. We're anxious to see what happens in the next 10 years. It's going to be nuts.
It is going to be nuts, but it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So you have a ton of amazing accomplishments, awards, and recognitions. You are actively involved with several Lake area and Mid-Missouri community events and serve on several charitable boards and organizations, including MU Arts and Science Board of the School of Visual Studies, Vice President of GP Made Foundation, past president of the Ozark Coast Kiwanis Club and past shootout committee member, and a past co-chairman of the Christmas for Kids benefit for 25 years. You are also a member of the local chambers and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. You have won the Kiwanis International Hinkson Award and the 2016 Business Person of the Year Award by the Lake of the Ozarks Regional Economic Development Council. Out of all of these amazing accomplishments and awards, what have you felt to be one of your most favorite recognitions, and what would you say helps you stay so humble?
That's so funny because you told me you were going to ask that question, and I'm like, my greatest accomplishment is my kids, number one. So
yes.
For number one, I mean, and starting this magazine when they were young, I just kept thinking, was I depriving them of, my mothering and motherhood? But I think sometimes as a female, the best gift you can give your kids is showing them work ethic, showing them scheduling, showing them, you can do this and do that. You can set your sights high. So, I think, of course, the kids are the greatest, and then probably the second greatest, other than, just the magazine being in existence, is my staff, because the people that are collected to be a part of this team are the ones that have the same vision that I have and are making it happen. Art director from day one, she's still with me, Amanda DeGraffenreid, Maggie Brenizer, the whole sales staff that go out there and relay the passion that I have for the magazine. They relay it over and over again, day after day, to businesses and clients and potential clients. And so I'm so really thankful. I think that's one of the biggest awards I feel that is still affecting my life and accomplishing the goals of Profile. So I don't know.
I love that.
I
mean, it honestly gives me goosebumps. I mean, I love what you said about your kids, because I think showing them discipline and that you can have both a successful life and also, a family life, huge. I know that's something I try to be impactful with my kids. And then, you can't do everything by yourself in a day. So having an amazing staff, an amazing team to carry out your vision, it's huge. That's everything, you know.
You trust them, and you got to find people that trust you to continue to deliver the passion so that they can do the same and have the same passion. So, and the kids, I have to tell you, Mira was in a pumpkin seat and she went to a chamber social. She was at chamber annual dinners. I mean, and even today she's a grown-up young lady, and I'm so proud of her. So, and my son. So they're both graduating, one from college, one from high school this year, this May, within 5 days of each other. So
big congratulations to them. So, that's amazing.
That's an accomplishment.
So, Missy, you have inspired us with the way your magazine and all that you do within your business really promotes our lake area, the local businesses, and the people who make up our community. So I have to ask, what keeps you going and what inspires you personally?
Besides the caffeine in the morning and the green tea.
There you go.
Okay. No, the green tea, I'm telling you, every morning green tea, because
Really?
it keeps you healthy. It's one of those antioxidants. But what keeps me going? Is that what? Yeah.
Keeps you going or inspires you every day?
Inspiration. Just the inspiration for the magazine came from, looking at other magazines and loving other magazines, health and fitness, and going on. When I travel, I pick up other magazines from other regions, and Architectural Digest, Rob Report magazine, People magazine. Homes and Gardens magazine, the health. I put them all together, and it's every section of the magazine. It's all my favorite reads, all in one magazine.
Yes.
So keeping me going. Just I've got to stay out there and listen to my customers, and hearing their successes really keeps me going, because it's funny. We'll get a Amini's in St. Louis as an advertiser. We just heard this story this morning in the staff meeting, and a gal had been through the magazine and she saw a billiard table in the ad and called Amini's and said, I want that same table in my house at the Lake of the Ozarks. And,
oh, cool.
And so they called us and said, you're not going to believe this. We got this call. And it happens, and we don't always get the feedback. We don't always hear that, and the sales staff hardly ever hears that. So when they do, they're like, it is working. It is, we're bringing business to our customers. So that's a satisfaction that, is happening, but I like to hear more of it. So I just like to know we're helping our advertisers, and you can see that something's been working because we're all growing together. And so that's it, I guess.
No, I love that answer. That was really good. Okay, so last question. It's a 3-parter for fun.
Oh, yeah.
No pressure.
Okay.
So first one, in what area, personal and professional, do you feel like you would like to grow more in?
I need an entrepreneur class and a business class.
Oh, there you go.
Because honestly, growing as a person, as a business owner, that's the one thing I wish I could do better is management. And I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm just Missy with an art degree, and it would be really nice if I could put numbers and just have more of an economic sense. Other than counting cars and knowing that more people are coming in and out, and we got to grow, we got to add more pages. So that's where I would like to improve on, is just my business sense. So I wouldn't spend every money that comes in for the advertising back out into the magazine. Oh, let's do more pages. Let's do bigger photography. Let's add 8 more pages for the home feature because it's so beautiful, So sometimes my passion for the art and the visual overtake the business side of me. So,
well, I think that's a great goal to have. I know that personally, with everybody, you can never grow too much, in my opinion.
No.
So, okay, next one. In what area, personal or professional, do you feel like you would like to thrive more in?
Well, I'll tell you what, here we go. Back when I went to University of Missouri, I graduated in 85, okay, from university. We didn't have computers.
Really?
So the art was all done by hand.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so then I started, of course, got the computer as soon as I got out, started Studio M, worked on, different new programs on the computer that were artistic, but I still feel like I needed to pick up a pen or a piece of chalk or something to draw or to put the feelings down, or draw a logo or something with my hands instead of the computer. And I feel once I got the staff and I got them on the magazine and could, develop all that stuff, now I don't use a computer for art anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I don't draw anymore. So I wish I could. And a lot of times it happens, I could design an ad in 2 hot seconds, but I don't have the program on my computer to do it.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, so yeah, learning more on the computer art. I have Amanda doing it all. I have the visual and I can draw it up on a piece of paper. I said, this is what I want it to look like. And bam, she's got it done.
Oh, cool.
But back in the day, we just didn't learn on computers. Now you go in the art departments and they've got everything,
Yeah.
Everything. So
Software, computers,
yes,
all
yeah.
of it.
So
Yeah.
I know there's something nobody knows about.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. And I think it's really cool that you got the opportunity to do it by hand, though, because I feel like, art in a sense is, from your body, your passion, your heart, your mind, and being able to, I'm not an artistic person. Like, I can't draw a stick figure, so being able to appreciate somebody else's artistic ability like that is huge.
Yeah, it's good. I can get there. I'm getting there. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So last one. What is your favorite thing to do here at Lake of the Ozarks?
My gosh, just Sunday. I love Sundays here at the lake. But just last Sunday, we live right on the main channel. So if it's temperature's right, the sun's just right, barbecuing, sitting out there, glass of wine, watching the boats go by. I love getting on the boat. Don't get me wrong, I love boating, but I love being outdoors. And if it's just sitting there watching the boats go by, and I love the noise of the boats. I hate to say that, but I do. Even the bass boats at 5 a.m, you're like, oh, there must be a tournament,
Yeah.
But sitting outside Sunday night, and we were barbecuing, and just, it's peaceful in a weird way. But seeing all that water, and, they always say if you live near water, you grow old less fast.
Oh.
So I am counting on that
Yeah.
to be true. So being around water and just the feeling of living on the lake is like no other. And we get spoiled. You look out your window and you forget. And then you have guests over that haven't been down or in a while or whatever, and they're like, oh my God, the view. And you're like, oh, That's right. That's there.
Yeah, I forgot.
So I guess, I love looking out over the lake and seeing what I see from homes, boats, the water, the fresh air that we get here, the opportunity to distance ourselves from each other, even though, all the cities were down and quarantined and distanced. I felt we still had a sense of, fresh air and distance, and I don't know. This is a spectacular place, and everybody in the world is finding out right now.
Yeah, and we're also getting into that season where barbecues and being outside, it's all coming back.
I love
and
the
I'm so
smell.
excited.
I love it. It's like so, and I'm a barbecuer. I mean, I'm on it. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Grow, Thrive, Inspire listeners, as always, we could not be more thankful to Missy for bringing Studio M and LO Profiles information here and sharing it with us. Remember to check out the information in the description to get connected with Missy and LO Profile. We have 2 more episodes coming for this season, so be sure to tune back in on Wednesdays and like and subscribe to our pages or share us with those who love the lake area as much as you do. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, or growthriveinspirepodcast.com. If you want to move to the Lake of the Ozarks because this place is so awesome, then be sure to check out our open houses coming up. Open houses are posted on Thursdays for the upcoming weekend on our Facebook page. And remember to always grow, thrive, and inspire, and we'll catch you next time.